Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about selling your silver stack. Now I put up a poll in my community tab, and I just asked the question, will you ever sell your silver stack? And putting up on screen here are the results so far. It's 71% said eventually, while 29% said never. And you can still vote on this poll if you'd like. You can just go to the community section of my channel, because it's not like Twitter. Twitter, if you set a poll, you can actually set it up so that it lasts for an hour or a day or a week. I think the maximum is 7 days. But with YouTube, it just kind of stays up. So you only have an option to delete it. So I'd rather just keep the poll questions up there. And if you've missed one, you can still go back and vote on some of the old ones. But yes, this one's still up here. And just looking at some of the comments here, there's a lot of people saying that they're not looking to sell their entire stack. One here says GERC Texas says only selling onesies and twosies if needed to survive. Otherwise, when it's in my stack, it stays. So that's kind of, if need be, they could see themselves doing it. There are other people that are steadfast in that there's no way. It says passing down once I'm in the ground, says Jonathan Conti. So a lot of people are like that, where they're going to be passing it down to family. I know a lot of people want to hold on to it for a long period of time, but Millstacks here has already seen some gains from his stack. He converted some of his silver once it was above 30 into gold. So he's sold some of his stack already, and has been very happy with the transaction he made. Gunnar Gunnarson's kind of halfway, he says. Some of it, sure. All of it, no. Some is going to my children. So there were quite a few people that were in that boat, where it's not going to sell the entire stack, but they can definitely see themselves unloading some at some point in the future. Same with John Green here, says having a baby soon. Congratulations. College will probably be 1.5 million a semester by college time, if not more. My silver stack will buy a textbook, and probably at that point you're probably not too far off with the way things are going. And it says hopefully my kid will get a scholarship. So that was the poll question that I asked, and I just wanted to show you the results so far and some of the comments. But as far as me, if I were to ever consider selling my stack, yes, I definitely think in the future I will be selling, at least part of my stack, like some of the people were saying in the comments. And obviously, I'm not just going to be converting it back into fiat currency. If I do sell it, it will be for a hard asset, something like a property and things like that. So there is a plan for that. But for me right now, and for the I'd say I'm hoping that I won't need to sell anything for a decade or two. I can just keep accumulating. Yes, like the poll said, right now 71% of the people said that they will eventually sell their stack, at least partially, if not the whole stack. And there are some things that you should consider, even though it's going to be down the line. And one of the things is, if you're I know a lot of people that just like going into local coin shops. They don't really like going onto the internet. Now the internet has really opened up things as far as the back end when you're trying to sell your stack, because given the example of the local coin shop, even if you just go to one coin shop and you've been going there for a while, you kind of know the things that he's been picking up, and stuff that will be on the shelves for a while, and you might have a relationship with them, so you can ask them, hey, in the future, I'm going to be maybe looking to sell some of my stack. What do you think is the best silver, or what do you recommend that I buy, so I can have little to no problem liquidating it on the back end? And like I said, if you've been going to this guy for a while, you'll tend to see some of the stuff that's on the shelves there for a longer period of time compared to other things. He might say, if you come in with a monster box full of American Silver Eagles, I'll have no problem picking the entire thing up from you, because I know it'll fly off the shelves. But it could be a situation, especially if you're living in the States, and it's just one of those things where he's like, I picked up some Krugerrands before, and they sat on the shelf for a while collecting dust. Not a lot of people came in buying them. They'd prefer to pick up some of the other things. But it's always good to know exactly what would be the best silver to liquidate when the time comes. And if you're only going to one or two spots, you're going to have to kind of go by what they're purchasing and what you're going to get the most of on the back end. But like I said, if you are like a lot of the stackers in the stacking community, and you have no problem buying and selling online, your doors open immensely there. You know what I mean? You can do peer-to-peer peers selling on Instagram. You can do it on, there's plenty of YouTube channels that do auctions and selling and stuff like that. So, you might be a little bit limited with your options, and yeah, you might have some issues with liquidity and maybe getting not the most back for what you'd be hoping, just because they say, hey, look, this isn't a high demand item. Not a lot of people are coming in looking for say like 100-ounce bar of silver. You know what I mean? If you have that might be a little bit harder to sell to a local coin shop, because he knows that it might be sitting on the shelves for a while. Whereas if you just put it out onto the World Wide Web, you have so many more eyes looking at it. It'll be maybe a little bit easier to sell it then. But you do have options, and for the most part, if you're like me and a lot of the other stackers, you do have plenty of time to build these relationships. But even if you're not, like I said, even if you're not planning on selling for a long time, it's good to just know the ropes and know exactly a plan, an exit strategy when that time comes, because you're going to want to make sure that you're going to get the most back from your stack. So yes, obviously selling to the local coin shops or selling online is an example of selling off your stack. But there are other ways. It's not technically selling it off, but if you're a prepper and you're worried about the SHTF situations, then you will be using your stack to like in those bartering situations if it comes back into popular usage. So a lot of people that are in the prepping community, they like to pick up the junk and constitutional silver just because it's those smaller denominations. So you have a lot wider of a range to work with. You're not just going into every store and having to plop down a 10-ounce bar because you just have 10-ounce bars. That's a significant amount of silver, where with the junk silver, it might take a little bit of explaining to them. It's not the face value that you're paying for, it's the silver content. So yeah, for preppers, they might have a hard time answering this question because it's not technically selling off their stack. I would probably use the words, would you ever use your stack for preppers? And it's not really a question that's worth asking to them, because 100% would say yes. That's the point of prepping, is you're doing all this stuff in preparation for having to use it. So this question doesn't really apply. So the poll question doesn't really apply too much to them, because I'd say 100% of them would say yes. And silver stacking is a long-term game. I did show that comment there from Millstacks. He was able to take advantage of some of the wild things that we've been seeing with some of the spot prices and some of the spikes, and he was able to take advantage of it and converting some of his silver into gold. But for the most part, for me at least, I'm looking to hold on to my stack for a long time, and I do want to pass at least some of it down to family, and but if I do sell it, it's not just going to be going into just a pile of cash, because that doesn't make any sense to be stacking as a hedge against inflation for decades to just turn around and put it right back into that cash. So selling it, I will turn it into another hard asset, like something like property. If you're going to be paying off a mortgage, or if picking up a cottage down the road, or a fishing shop, whatever it is, you're going to be wanting to get another hard asset, not just that fiat currency. But yeah, that was just a video I wanted to make here. I like doing the poll questions to see what the community has to say about a certain topic, and then kind of doing a video going over the results and seeing some of the comments. And like I said, with the YouTube polls, they never close. Actually, if you can let me know in the comments if there's a way that I can turn them off, just I'll have the results listed there. But I'd like to have the polls up for maybe no more than a week. But if you do want to go to some of the back polls there, they're still up and you can vote on them. I believe I have 5 or 6 up there right now. So you can leave a comment down below, or you can go up to the community tab and vote on the poll. But yeah, I just wanted to do the quick video today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.